Kia ora fellas, so we are up to weeks 5 and 6, so this is the day one program that you're going to use for week 5 and 6. These weeks are really flown by pretty quickly. Hopefully you're having a good crack at these. I've mentioned it in previous videos. Super important that you're doing this stuff so that when we go back to school we can pick up where we left off. We're not losing a hell of a lot and you can go straight back into the program and we're not having to regress and start again. There's some really good content in these programs, so have a really good go at it. Again, like we're in class, think about what you're doing because technique is everything. Use the key muscles, engage the key areas of your body, maintain good posture, all those good things, and you will benefit hugely from these sessions. Rightio, so do the warm-up. We're starting really sort of fast and sharp with our A series today, so you need a good warm-up. At a bare minimum, do that ADP warm-up series twice. You may need to do some extra warming up, and you'll see why pretty soon, because very dynamic, fast, sharp A series to begin with. Cool, so getting straight into it. A1. We're going to do a fast high knees or running on the spot. It's actually sprinting on the spot. When you do this, I want you to think about having really sharp, short contact times with the floor, using your arms to drive up like you would when you're sprinting. But let's not forget about technique. Sorry. So body upright, shoulders back, core engaged. Using all those key muscle groups to action this exercise and do it properly is really key. We're not just jogging on the spot. I want you to really focus on this exercise. It's a really key one that we've added into this program today. Right, so running on the spot, we're going to do 12. I want you to be really short and sharp like I mentioned before, and don't forget your arm action. So we're going like this. So really sharp, your feet should be banging the floor. Your ankles should be really stiff and solid, and you should be driving up nice and tall with both your arms and your knees. It's just a count of 12, so it's a really rapid, short exercise, and you'll be done pretty quickly. But I want every step, or every stride, or every action to be done with purpose, be powerful and fast. I want you to think about those things when you do that. So that is A1. A2. So a combination of a couple of exercises. One that we've been working on is the ankling, again, so stiff ankles. So ankling is sort of like skipping, or the pogos that we've used previously in your programming. So you're going to ankle, you're going to do 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 5th, you're going to drop into a fast squat. Probably easiest that I just demonstrate this one so you can see what I'm doing. So first things first, you're going to go hands on hips for the ankling. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, bang, 5, really strong. 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. Cool. So the purpose of this, strong ankles, strong stiff ankles again, that's going to help you generate force. It's going to help you jump higher, be faster. So speed is always a key one for sport and exercise. And then I want you to drop really low and really fast into that good squat position like I showed you then. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ankles or ankling, and then drop low on the 5th into that squat position. I want you to do 6 of those. So 5 bounces and then drop into a squat, that's 1. Do that times 6, that makes up A2. A3, so we're going from a prone hold into a dolphin pose, or similar to a downward dog. So combination of a couple of exercises again, a couple of yoga movement, as well as prone or plank, which we've been working on. So something you're familiar with, so you should have no trouble doing this one. So plank from my elbows, full plank, feet and elbows. I'm going from here, then I'm going up in dolphin pose, so backside going up, and then I'm returning. So hold for 1, 2, move up, 1, 2, and return for 1, 2. You'll need to really engage your core for this one. Try and make that inverted V shape. Hopefully I gave you a good demonstration there so you got a good idea of what it looks like. Going from that plank to that dolphin pose, back to the plank, that's 1 rep. I want you to do 6. So that's the A series. The high knees, fast high knees for 12. The ankling to drop squat for 6. And then the prone hold to dolphin pose for 6 as well. A series, do it 3 times. When you come back for week 6, so this is week 5, week 6, you will do 4 sets. But for day 1 of week 5, we're doing 3. Sweet. Cool, so as I just mentioned, make sure you remember that. So there won't be a new video for week 6. This will be your week 6 program, like we did for the last cycle. Week 5, which is your first attempt, you will do 3 sets of everything. Week 6, there'll be a progression, and that progression is going to 4 sets of the same exercises. Right, B1, press up combo. So we're using wide press up as well as a military press up to make a little press up combo here. So wide, how wide is wide? So if you go from general or normal hand position, we're kind of looking at about shoulder width. I then want you to take reference as to where your pinkies are on the floor. And then I'm going to move my thumb to where my pinky was. Same on both sides. And now I've got my wide position. We're going to do full press ups. So I'm going to split it. So 5 and 5. So we're going to do 5 wide, then 5 military. So 5 wide, I'll give you a demo first. Again, nice and even, flat, strong, good posture for 5. Make sure your stomach or your chest is just touching the floor, that we're getting that full depth. Don't cut it short, no shortcuts here. And then so you're doing your 5, then we're going to military press up. So now we're going just inside shoulder width with my thumbs. Same thing for 5. Elbows going straight back this time. Cool, and that makes up 1 set. 5 wide, 5 military. Remember to tuck your elbows in for the military. That's 1 set, that gives you 10 reps. If you're struggling with that, if it's a little bit more challenging than the level that you're at, feel free to go to your knees and do modified. Again, way better that your technique is solid and sound than you worming it or doing a seal or inchworm or having a big arch or hill in your technique. Slow it down, go back to your knees, be strong, have good posture, make that adjustment if you need to. B2, V-sit twist. I believe we've had this in a previous program. So making that V shape, so come on diagonal. V shape here with my thighs and my torso. If you want, you can hold on to a drink bottle or a book, something, but it's not absolutely necessary. And then we're going to twist. So touch the floor, my legs stay still. It's just my upper body that's moving, but my shoulders are really broad, my posture's good, I'm sitting up tall, and there's my V-sit twist. I want you to do 10 on each side, so that'll be a count of 20, and that is B2. Right, so B3. You will need a weight of some description. You can make this in a number of ways. You're only limited by your imagination. I've got a kettlebell which I'm going to demonstrate with, but use your school bag, put some books in it. All of a sudden we've got a makeshift dumbbell. A bucket is a good one with something in it, obviously, but we don't need much weight because the key here is that we're thinking about technique. Now, if I remember, go back to when we were at school and we were doing a bent over row, we were still trying to understand our body position when we did the bent over row. Hence why I wanted to have a bit of a recap while we're at home. I'll talk you through the technique that I want to see with this. As always with these exercises, it can be difficult to make those adjustments when you don't see yourself completing the movement. So if you've got someone at home that can have a look at the way that I'm demonstrating the exercise. Get them to have a look at the way that you're doing the exercise. Make some adjustments if you need. Otherwise, film it. You can do it in front of a mirror or a window to give you a reflection. That'll give you that immediate feedback. which will help you to make those adjustments or not, as you are required or need to. Cool, so I've got, like I said, I've got my kettlebell. You will need a chair or a bench or something to put your hand on, because it's going to be a bent over row, supported bent over row. Just get my setup going. So I've got my chair. Right, so starting position, I want you to start standing up. I'm about 1 meter away from my chair at the moment. My feet are just outside hip width apart. I'm going to bend over and place my hand on my chair, and then I'm going to come over. So my arm is almost in a vertical position, as you can see, and I'm leaning quite far forward. My weight's going through my hand. I'm going to dip at my knees, and I'm going to use my core as well as my shoulder blades to give myself a nice flat back. So everything's engaged, my posture's good, I'm nice and strong, and I'm in a steady position. I pick up my weight, and staying in this position, nothing moves apart from my arm. I'm going to bring my weight up to my armpit or to my chest, and then control the movement back down. Up and down. So the key here is the body position I'm in. So dipping at my knees, backside is pointing back to the opposite wall, my back is nice and flat, and I maintain this throughout. So that's the position I want to see, and if I encourage you to film it, get someone to look at it so you get that feedback, make that adjustment. We're not rounded over, and we're in that position just as I've shown you. So really good one to keep reflecting back on. From what I remember, that's something that we can really work on, and now's a good time, and use this time to do that, because if we don't need to waste time, we don't have to go back and look at that exercise too often. That would be really helpful for us going forward. Alright, so that's the B3 exercise, the B series. So quick recap for that one. The press up combo, wide and then military. The V-sit twist, keep your legs still, core nice and strong, and posture for that one. And then the bent over row. So positioning, so you're set up 1 meter away, legs hip width or just slightly wider than hip width. Dip at your knees first, then at your hips. So a key reference or a key reminder is that hinge position, backside pointing back, shoulder blades or chest and upper body, and really good strong postural position, and then a good strong row without rocking and rolling, and maintaining that flat back or good body position and alignment. Sweet, so do 3 sets of that for week 5. If this is week 6, do your 4, and I want you to do, the rep count goes 10, 20, and then 12 on each side. That's the B series. Okay, so moving on to the C series, another new exercise. So we've got a reverse lunge with the high knee raise, a bit of a mouthful, but makes a lot of sense. A real athletic type movement, which is a nice one that's going to challenge your strength, your balance, and your coordination, which is cool. Glute march, which is a new one again, and then a single leg calf raise, which is not a new one, which you'll be able to do without too much trouble. All right. Reverse lunge, so stepping back, lunge, and then going up, high knee. Stand steady, so it looks like this again. Back and up, back and up, back and up. So from the side, reverse, and then up with high knee. Quite a sport-specific movement, or it replicates quite a lot of the movements you do in sport or physical activity. Balance is key. You have to really engage your glute here. That'll help, and make sure we're really using that front foot, or front quad, to dominate the movement. Be strong, particularly when you're coming through that back leg for the high knee. I want you to do 12 on one side, change over, so the left leg then goes in front. Do 12 on the other side. Glute march. So we're going up into a bilateral glute bridge, which I know you're familiar with. So
ankles where I can just touch them or just graze them with my fingertips. I'm going up nice and high with my hips. I'm holding them there. Then I'm going to take my left leg off to tabletop position and then return it. My hips stay high. You'll notice my hips don't drop. Then other side, so right leg, tabletop and return. Left leg, right leg. So like I mentioned, hips stay high, don't let them drop when you alternate the legs, and we're marching, hence the glute march. I've got 12 on each side again, so that'll be a count of 24. If you are struggling and fatiguing and your hips are starting to drop, let's just aim for 18 or 20 repetitions, because again, I'd rather quality over anything else. So if you feel like you're fatiguing, stop at that number of reps and just use that number of reps for yourself going forward. Single leg calf raise against the wall for balance. Up high, nice on your toes, and then release back down, controlled, heel to touch the floor, and then back up again. That's the CSeries. 12 on each side for each of those three. 3 sets for week 5, 4 sets for week 6, and one more exercise to finish. Cool, so we're going to do a little bit more of a conditioning sort of hit. It'll get your breathing a little bit elevated. It's a nice way to finish these sessions. There's quite a lot of content in that session to date, so this is a nice short, sharp way to get breathing, maintain some aerobic capacity, which is always a good thing, and implementing these into your session is a really good way for you to maintain your fitness levels. I've certainly found that it doesn't take much to keep you going and to improve your fitness, let alone maintain it. So have a good crack at this one. So this one is a combination of 2 exercises, 2 simple exercises. First one is a burpee, second one is a mountain climber. You're going to do 10 reps, then 10 reps, and I want you to do that 3 times, or 3 sets of that, so continuously. 10 reps of burpees, 10 reps of mountain climbers, times 3. Burpee, proper burpee looks like this. So press up position, up, and then jump. Nice and easy. Do 10 of those. Mountain climbers, my version of mountain climbers is out to the side. So 1, 2, 3, 4 to 10. Do that times 3. A real nice way to finish these sessions. Sweet boys, well done. And I'll see you for day 2 of this latest cycle. Good stuff.